trésor oublié auquel j'ai redonné un nouveau souffle au passage. Attends, je vous remonte quand même le début. C'est Marina, c'est Maria, pas
After a year
Marina.
on the road, I thought I'd get tired of traveling. The endless clatter of rail, but as my train pulled a whole year,
Voilà.
felt like I'm
Je
a
suis
restorer by
restauratrice,
trade,
redonner vie à
bringing
nos
our most
biens.
beloved possessions back to
Ah,
life
j'avais
is what I
restauratrice,
love
genre
to do. I'd been
restaurant.
traveling for
Je suis
months,
fatiguée, je crois encore.
working
Hein.
my way from one
Et
town to the next,
redonner
fixing
à nos
everything
biens les
from
plus précieux
homemade
est ma
heirlooms
passion.
to
Je
VCRs.
voyage depuis des mois allant de ville en ville, réparant tout ce que je trouvais en chemin, de simples magnétoscopes à de précieux objets de famille. Trop pipou.
Bellariva was my chance to take a break.
Bellariva était pour moi l'occasion de faire une pause, mais je verrai cela après avoir défait ma valise. Let's go. Cliquez sur la valise pour la ramasser. C'est ce que je fais. Ensuite. Ah. Hop. Hop. Waouh.
My parents took this after I made my first repair. Seems like a lifetime ago.
Moi, ça, on réveille son premier truc qu'elle a réparé.
My passport.
Son passeport, hein.
Not many blank pages left now. I saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once. Rock and roll repair woman at your service.
Des de soleil.
The tools of my trade. No hope of restoring things without these.
Ok, des vêtements normaux. Un appareil photo
Looking
jetable.
forward to taking more close-ups of my fingers with this.
Une brosse à cheveux avec le chouchou autour, hein. La base.
I'll hand these out once I'm settled in. Fingers crossed they get me some work.
Let's go.
Finally, I'd made it to Bellariva.
J'étais enfin arrivée à
I'd come for the food
Bellariva,
festival,
où je me
taking
rendais
place
pour le
in a few
festival
days'
culinaire
time.
qui se déroulait d'ici
After
quelques
living
jours.
off TV dinners and instant ramen for the last few months, I was craving a decent meal. Of course, I'd need to earn enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work.
On va travailler, let's go.
My parents never wanted me to go. They wanted me to stay in their shop and have a simple, stationary life. I knew there was a world out there, beyond the four walls of our antique store, that I had to be a part. I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring out their stories, revealing the memories hidden beneath the screws and wires. My story in Bellariva began with a little girl, and a voice she was longing to
Elle est
hear.
Mimi.
It was my first morning in Bellariva, and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town, its streets and alleyways basking peacefully in the hot morning. In the main square, meanwhile, preparations were underway for the festival in a
Il
few
va y avoir
days'
un
time.
festival dans la vie.
As I handed out my flyers, I wondered what the people of Bellariva would need me to fix. So far, everything here seemed perfect. I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Hi, I'm Izzy. Do you know how to fix things?
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers. She rummaged around in her backpack until she hauled out a battered red cassette deck.
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore.
Moi, la pauvre Bibi. Est-ce qu'on va l'aider? Bien sûr.
I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing in the way. Can you try?
Can you try? Alors, comment on fait? Ça se rembobine avec le crayon, ça? Non? Ah oui, d'accord. Genre ça.
Why did you do that?
Pourquoi tu fais ça? Parce que, mon petit...
How did you do that? I didn't see.
C'est la méthode quand on était plus vieux. C'est tout. Oh! C'est les tasses, c'est trop mignon. reprendre le mettre au menu et tout. Alors, on s'occupe du magnéto. Pas de vis. Ah. Mince. Il faut que je tourne avec la souris. Piou, piou, piou. On enlève le petit bout, on le pose délicatement.
Aha. Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares.
Heureusement qu'on a d'autres piles. Mince, c'est pas suffisant? Bah si. Ah non, ça veut... Ah oui, la vis est là. Piou. Non, hop. Ah mince.
Will you dream a dream for me?
Non.
Sit by your side and hold you so tight. Know that I will always love you, even though we both know that we must say goodnight. Good night, my darling.
Oh là là, c'est beau. Ok. Bien joué à nous, on a réussi.
When it finished, Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
No problem. Who was that singing? They're very good.
It's my mum. She's not here
Oh,
anymore.
chou.
Izzy trailed off. It was the kind of silence a cassette tape would never be enough to fill. When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum, 3 mismatched buttons, and a yo-yo.
Je vais payer en
I
yo-yo.
usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt. She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it all, part of her life had been shattered.
Ils sont beaux les dessins.
A part I wouldn't be able to fix.
Ils sont très beaux les dessins. Let's go. C'est quoi le prochain truc? Une statuette brisée? Allons voir, allons voir.
My first repair complete, I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around the square. I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit. The address led me to a quaint little house, a stone's throw from the beach. Bathed in the evening light, it looked beautiful, in spite of its flaking paintwork and chipped tiles. The front door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? My name's Joseph. I'm Isabel's father. I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle up properly.
On the mantelpiece, I saw the remains of a broken statue. Without thinking, I picked up a fragment.
Ah, my father's statue. What's left of it, at least. Yet another way I'd have disappointed him. It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with Isabel and... Do you think you can salvage it?
On va essayer, mon bichon. Alors, j'imagine que c'est le socle. Hein,
Will you be able to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks.
Ok. Ok. Hop. Ouais, ça va là.
Is
Hop.
this glue really strong enough to hold everything together?
Vas-y, je l'utilise, mon pote. Hop. Non, je veux juste la tourner. Hop. Mets la masse de colle. Non.
Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label.
Waouh. Hop. Et voilà, monsieur. Wouhou. C'est des belles histoires qu'il nous raconte, hein.
It looks as perfect as it ever did.
De rien.
My father wanted me to make something of myself. He didn't have time for anything less.
Non.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portrait stood proudly next to it. So he was Bellariva's mayor. And that was Izzy's mom. They must both miss her so much.
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been working late getting things sorted for the festival. There's only a few days to go. Looks like I'll be working late. Again.
When I told my parents I wanted to leave, they always found an excuse to be busy, to avoid talking about it. I guess keeping themselves occupied was their way of pretending it wasn't happening. Joseph's work must have been taking up so much of his time. But maybe that was what he wanted. I just hoped he was finding enough time for Izzy, too.
C'est du sujet sérieux qu'on a, hein. Ça rigole pas, hein. Hop, je regarde quelque chose. Hop. Débrancher. Ah, on est sur un téléphone. C'est des téléphones à cadran comme ça. Ça fait
My
si longtemps que j'en ai
second
pas
day
vu.
in Bellariva dawned bright and clear. Another beautiful sunny morning. Walking into town, I passed cafes overflowing with customers cradling their morning coffees. I stopped, breathing in the smell of roasted coffee beans and freshly baked pastries. I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me.
Hello, Maria. Were you here yesterday handing out flyers? I have a job for you.
Les couleurs sont belles, hein.
Her place was petite. tucked
Bonjour
between
la
its
peau
competitors as if
soude, comment
hoping they
ça va?
wouldn't notice. Judging by the empty tables inside, though, her potential customers hadn't noticed it either.
It's a bit slow today.
Bien et toi?
but we're
Bien,
just getting
bien.
started.
On se réveille
Sure,
tranquillement.
it'll pick up soon.
As Carmen chatted, she walked over to the counter and returned with an old rotary phone.
At least I've got plenty of time to practice my recipe.
On est sur un jeu de réparation d'objets.
Special I've been working on. I was hoping to call my sister for some seasoning tips, but it won't connect.
Ça ne marche plus.
Can you see if you can figure out what's wrong?
On va bien voir, dis-moi ça. Alors,
You can fix it, can't you? I can't afford to replace it.
oui, bah je vais essayer, madame. Comment on fait pour le bouger? Ah, comme ça. Ah. Les pipilles. Les vivis.
Obviously, we'd normally be much busier than this.
D'accord. On aura plein de choses à se dire ce soir. Sur quel sujet j'ai peur? Hop. Toi. Voilà. Toi. Voilà. Ok. Ah, il y a une... Oui, il y a une truc cassé. J'ai défait les deux, je crois que c'était pas nécessaire. Ah si. T'inquiète. Non mais dis sur ton déménagement, j'imagine, tout ça, tout ça. Enlever ça. Non.
These connections aren't quite right. I should check the wiring.
Non mais je veux juste l'enlever, hein. Ça marche comme ça? Non, c'est pas bon. Non. Euh. Voilà.
Looks like
Wouhou.
this new circuit board is all hooked up.
On a sauvé un chat, mais maintenant la SPA de veau. Ah ouais. Ah ouais. Donc ça veut dire que la sœur de Rip, elle est potentiellement en train de s'en occuper. Tu vois, les voisins du 3e étage, ils ont un chat. Ah ouais. Ouais. Peut-être. Celui qu'on voyait quand on allait dans le jardin, genre. Bah, il est encore tombé, donc c'est à eux. Ah ouais, non. S'il tombe tout le temps des fenêtres, c'est qu'il le garde pas. Non, c'est pas lui. Ah, je vois pas alors. Non, c'est pas grave. Et donc il tombait sur régulièrement, si tu me dis, il a encore tombé. Moi, je savais pas que... Ensuite... Sauf que j'ai remarqué qu'il n'avait plus de petites dents. Ouais. Il manque des 10. Bah oui. Et ça veut dire quoi s'il a plus de dents? C'est peut-être une maladie, non?
Looks like there's still a screw missing.
Oui, je vise, pardon. Pas forcément. Ouais, oui, pas forcément, j'imagine, mais... Oh là.
When I handed the phone back to Carmen, she seemed almost reluctant to take it from me.
So it's all working now, is it? I don't have to leave it to dry or let it cool down?
Nope, it's ready to go. It'll be ringing off the hook.
That's if I can pay my phone bill anyway. And the rent and the suppliers. Anyway, take a seat and I'll be right with you. Your coffee's on the house.
I sat at one of the empty tables, while at the counter, Carmen had started dialing the phone.
Hello! How's my favourite sister doing today?
Surtout que le chat était très sale. Ah ouais, non, bah vous avez... C'est vous qui avez appelé, du coup? Vous avez bien fait, hein?
As she talked, Carmen became more and more tense. This didn't seem like a call for some cooking advice.
I know I still owe you from last time, but I can't afford to take part in the festival if I don't pay.
I could almost feel the eye roll at the other end of the line.
Ouais, non, c'est chaud, vous avez bien fait pour le chat, hein, pour son bien-être. Ça fait beaucoup qui tombe, qui a pas de dents, qui soit sale, ça fait beaucoup, vous avez eu raison.
You don't need to be here though. Can't you just put the check in the post?
Du coup, pour l'instant, il va rester 15 jours à SPA, puis nos chats sans toi le récupèrent après. Ok. Mais dis donc.
When the call ended, Carmen brought me my coffee, her hands trembling.
Sorry about that. My sister's decided to fly in for a visit. Oh god, I have to get ready. Actually, I might have another job for you. Can you come by tomorrow?
On n'a pas le téléphone. Passe à l'appareil photo.
The next day, I'd promised Carmen I'd return to help her get the cafe ready for her sister's arrival. I was about to set out when I received an unexpected call from my hotel's reception desk. Apparently, another guest had asked for me by name.
Surtout que chat, c'est pas la première fois que même le chat sur toi contacte maman pour dire quelque chose sur ce chat. Ah, genre de faire attention, qu'ils l'ont vu traîner, Chaud, hein.
Curious, I took the creaking elevator up to the top floor and made my way to the room number they'd given. I knocked.
You hear about the camera? It's about time.
Déjà, on dit bonjour, hein. Parce qu'un jour, ils étaient sur le bord de fenêtre. Ouais, mais les nôtres aussi, ils étaient sur le rebord de fenêtre et ça se passait bien, mais oui, je comprends.
The woman in front of me was immaculate. Not a hair out of place or a crease to be seen.
My sister tells me you know how to fix things. I'd usually go to an expert, of course, but in this town...
So this was Carmen's sister? The two of them couldn't have been more different.
Ah, mais vu que c'est déjà un chat qui est tombé, oui, c'est clair que, ouais, c'est pas...
Inside her room, I saw a beautiful reflex camera. Any professional photographer's dream.
Bah là, c'était trop pour le cœur de maman. Mais pour n'importe qui, en fait, ouais, tu trouves le chat comme ça, ouais. Et du coup, ils en pensaient quoi, nos chats sans toi, du chat?
The viewfinder is completely dark. I can't see anything through it at all. I assume you can figure out what's wrong.
Ouais, j'ai regardé, mais je suis pas meilleure en fait, hein. Alors... Youp. Youp. Elle était choquée des dents surtout. Après, comme je dis, hein, ça peut aussi peut-être être une maladie, hein, les dents. Ouais, tu sais, c'est comme les humains. Après, bon.
I don't suppose you fixed anything
Le reste...
before.
En tout cas, le chat n'a que 2 ans. Bah, en espérant qu'il soit mieux là où il est. Là, tu vois, les deux miens, ils sont en train de se battre. Bon, ça s'est arrêté. C'est pas possible. Hop. Ah bah super.
Using a screwdriver, I could adjust the angle of the mirror.
Ok. Mince. Faut que ce soit comment? Faut que ce soit... Bah c'était déjà bien. C'était déjà super, pourquoi je... Hein? Ah, la pellicule. L'angle était bien, non? Mince. Je veux voir d'un popo me manque. Ah, t'abuses. Mince. Bon, ça veut pas. Pourquoi ça veut pas? Je ne comprends pas. C'est que j'ai fait une chose de travers. Attendez, il faut que je revoie parce que... Si, c'est bon. Ah non, c'est pas bon. Tu dois un peu incliner sur le... Il est pas incliné comme il faut. Ça va pas du tout, hein. Après, ça fait une couleur genre pas bon. Non, non. Bah non. Ma souris est trop sensible. Mais non. Mais pourquoi il retombe à chaque fois? Eh, on va voir si ça fonctionne comme ça, écoutez. Hein. Mince. Ça, j'aurais aimé le mettre là, mais apparemment non. Trop bizarre. On met les vis. Il manque une vis. Je peux pas tout
There's
refermer.
still a part I need to attach. Where does it go?
Mais ouais, mais il va là, mais... Ah non, c'est pas là, il va genre là, je suis con. Je croyais que ça se mettait sur les rouelles. Oh là là, je suis débile. Hop! Oh non, t'abuses quand même. Tu pourrais en sortir un, c'est tout le monde va être bien habillé. Alors... Ah mince, il y avait ça à faire aussi.
Looks like something is still missing.
Ça c'est bon, non? Non, c'est pas bon, je fais de la merde. Commence. Ouais. Bah ouais, mais c'est le truc que j'arrive pas à mettre... Je comprends bien que c'est ça, hein, mais... Mais genre, j'y arrive pas. Ah bah oui, je peux plus passer le tournevis parce que j'ai ça devant. Alors, genre, quand je fais ça, c'est trop bas. Et ça veut dire que ça, c'est bon? Ah bah oui. J'ai perdu tellement de temps pour rien. Hop là. Hop là. Hop là. Ah. Non! Ah, faut peut-être remettre le haut. Avant tout. Et maintenant, on peut remettre les vis. Ouh.
Perfect. Now the viewfinder should
Perfect.
be working.
Ouais, mais en jogging quand même. Genre... Tac.
Looks like there's still a screw missing.
On dirait qu'il manque... Quoi? Non, c'est bon, j'ai fini. Wouh!
I felt a pang of envy as I handed the camera to Helena. I put my disposable to shame.
Mais c'est très bien l'appareil photo jetable. C'est des souvenirs.
I picked it up on my first trip to Paris. It's a 1958 limited edition, the first of its kind. It cost me 3 months' salary.
Tu m'as pas dit bonjour, j'espère que tu vas me dire merci au moins.
I had no idea what 3 months' salary meant to Helena, but I was pretty sure it was more than I could afford. It was strange, really, that we were even staying in the same hotel. I'd picked this place because it was cheap and cheerful, but surely she could afford somewhere better?
Mais elle aime l'aventure.
She took some test shots, fiddling with the camera settings until she was absolutely satisfied.
This work is immaculate. At least there's one person in this town who knows what they're doing. Sending you to me might be the first thing Carmen's actually gotten right.
I wondered why Helena had bothered coming if she thought so little of her sister.
I hear nothing from her for weeks, and then when she finally does call
Elle me
me,
demande de l'argent. Ah,
she wants his money. If she thinks I'm lending her another penny, she'll have to convince me it's not a total waste of time.
ouh, c'est tendu.
That didn't sound good. If Hurricane Helena was about to hit, I hoped Carmen was ready. The sun was setting over Bellariva by the time I reached Carmen's cafe. From the outside, it looked as quiet as ever, but inside, I found Carmen cleaning like her life depended on it.
Maria! Oh, don't mind all of this. If Helena finds one speck of dust in here, I'll never hear the end of it.
Carmen seemed pleased to see me, but I sensed the fidgeting tension beneath each sweep of her mop. Trying to live up to the standards of someone like Helena seemed like an impossible task.
I hope you didn't mind fixing the camera for her. She was furious when it broke. I really need this to go well. If she doesn't lend me the money, I don't know how long I can keep this place going.
Carmen led me to a back room, where she'd laid out the components of what looked like a neon sign.
I had this made when I first opened the cafe, but I'm hopeless with electronics.
So there was supposed to be a sign outside. This might explain the lack of customers.
I'd like to put it up before Helena gets here. Can you give it a try?
Let's go! On va essayer. J'imagine que ça va là. Non? Ah! Faut dévisser. Youh. Piou. C'est le bruit du dévissage. Donc. Non. Viens là. Alors. Ok. J'imagine que ça. Toujours pas? Ça va pas là, ça? Bah si, pourtant c'est sûr que ça va là. Il faut peut-être mettre d'abord tout ça. Ok. Ok. Ça va peut-être genre là, dans le trou? Non. Ah ah! Aussi la colle. Ah. On met la blinde. Boulou, 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 boulou.
I think the whole thing is supposed to
Oui,
light up.
ça va s'allumer. Est-ce que ça s'allume bien tout? Waouh! C'est beau.
I don't know, it's a bit flat. Maybe
Punch.
if it flashes, it'll really catch people's eye.
Oui, bah d'accord.
Great
Bah
idea.
oui.
I think I have a spare part that could do that.
C'est quoi ça? C'est encore un truc à coller, genre? Apparemment. Yup. Par contre, je sais pas où ça va. Ah. Hmm. Ah oui, que les deux clignotent?
Still needs something else. Maybe we can add one of these.
Pizza, glace. Napoposoul, t'es là? Je vais lui faire choisir, mais si elle est pas là. Je sais pas. Ah oui, mais ça change rien. J'ai pas mis le. J'ai pas mis le signe. Elle est plus là. Qu'est-ce qu'on met?
The whole thing is supposed to light up.
Une glace, hein.
It works.
Ça
I'll
marche.
screw everything together again and you'll be set.
Le cocktail! Ah merde! On va tous les essayer, attendez. Ça se trouve, il y a un succès, hein? Ok, on va mettre la pizza pour voir. Waouh, pizza pepperoni. Bon, du coup, on va mettre le cocktail. Tiens. Ouf. On met les vis. You. Hop, la deuxième. You. Et normalement, c'est bon, hein? C'est bon, let's go!
The sign fixed, we headed outside and mounted it carefully over the cafe door.
Oh, that's perfect, Maria. It looks just how I imagined it. When I had this sign made, it all seemed so simple. Oh, I can't believe I might have to give it all up. I hope I've done enough.
The smile froze on her face as she spotted something over my shoulder. I turned to see.
Of course, my sister owns the only cafe in this entire town that isn't actually open.
For better or worse, Helena had arrived. Carmen opened her mouth to explain, but Helena swept indifferently past her. Finally pausing in the doorway, she turned back towards Carmen.
The first thing we're doing is getting rid of that hideous sign.
Super, super, trop cool.
And with that, she disappeared inside. I hoped Carmen's chances of saving the cafe hadn't disappeared with her.
On répare une enseigne pour que sa sœur elle lui enlève. Trop cool. Oh, une Game Boy.
It was the day before the festival, and the whole town was busy getting ready. I had more work than I knew what to do with. When Joseph called with another job, I was craving the cool quiet of his and Izzy's seafront house. I'd barely reached their front door when I heard someone calling me.
Psst, Maria, I need your help. Quickly, it's top secret.
It was Izzy, peeking out from the side of the house. She beckoned for me to follow her. She led me through to a beautiful, unruly garden overflowing with flowers of every color. Nestled among them was a playhouse, its doorway almost completely obscured by a towering rose bush.
You have to squeeze past it and breathe in real small, like this.
Izzy took in a big gulp of air and crawled through the gap and into the playhouse. I hadn't planned on crawling in the dirt today, but the life of a repairwoman never did run smooth. On the table inside, there was an electronic toy. Not exactly the usual stock in my parents' antique shop.
I had an accident. I didn't do it on purpose or anything, but it won't turn on anymore. Can you fix it for me?
Allez. Oh, l'écran il est éclaté, Minou. bouton aussi. Hop. Mince.
Is it meant to look like that? It's weird. I don't like it.
Ah, c'est quoi ça? On va la mettre là? Ah, c'est juste que je vais trop vite. Ah non, non, c'est vraiment que... Ah. Ah oui, le bouton. Comment on enlève... Tac. Oh là! Ok. Tout me semble bien. L'écran. Ah non, faut tout enlever pour que l'écran fonctionne. Voilà. Je mets un nouvel écran. Ok. Oh! On va mettre le jeu dans la Game Boy.
Do grown-ups play games as well?
Let's go! Faut jouer?
Can you show me how to play? I tried before, but it
C'est
was
trop
so
dur.
hard.
Appuie sur A. Bah. Qu'est-ce que... Oh! Ouais! Il est trop mignon le jeu. Let's go! Bravo à nous, bravo.
Her toy fixed, I watched Izzy retreat into its screen, taking refuge in a 3-inch world of her own. Well, I'd better head inside. Your dad is waiting for me.
Please don't tell him about the game. He'll think I broke it on purpose.
Why would he think that?
Because, well, I kind of dropped it really hard.
Ouah, elle a lancé sa console sur un mur.
Izzy looked down, scuffing her shoes on the worn floor of the playhouse.
My dad said I have to go to this stupid festival tomorrow and put on a stupid dress, and I don't want to. All he cares about is working. He never wants to see me unless it's for his job. I'm not going. He can't make me.
Ah, c'est triste.
With that, Izzy dove back through the rosebush and disappeared into the wilds of the garden. She was so young. She couldn't be expected to see that her dad was struggling too.
Ah ouais, mais bon.
It made me think. Had I really tried hard enough to understand my parents' point of view? I was so focused on the adventures ahead of me. Maybe I didn't care enough about leaving them behind.
Oui, vas-y. Vas-y, vas-y, la groom. Une montre.
Leaving Izzy hiding in the garden, I walked around to the front of the house and rang the doorbell.
Let's go.
It was only then I noticed. my favorite overalls covered in grass stains. I scrubbed
Hello les filles,
desperately,
comment ça
but
va?
it was too late.
Maria, what are you doing? What happened to your clothes?
Imaginons que t'as un enfant de 7-8 ans, tu commençais... Jeu vidéo en premier, ça va bien et toi? Ça va, on est sur un jeu assez pipou, c'est cool. Quel jeu vidéo je ferais? Ah bah bonne question. Hein. Oh J'allais dire un truc cliché genre Minecraft ou Roblox. Mais un Minecraft en mode facile. Oh y'a Simsim, j'ai pas vu. Coucou Simsim, comment ça va? Ah, je m'en dis écoute, ah, c'est vrai que j'ai passé du temps dessus, mais ouais c'est des jeux qui sont... Ah mais non mais ça revient Crash. Bah moi j'ai un bon souvenir sur Crash, mais après j'étais petite, j'ai jamais rejoué depuis. J'ai commencé avec des trucs genre des Tetris, des... J'ai commencé avec les Sims, c'est des bons souvenirs, c'est des jeux pas violents de fou quoi, ça va. Bon, à part quand ton Sims il crame ou qu'il se noie, mais non ouais j'ai commencé avec des petits trucs comme ça ou c'est quoi après quand j'étais un peu plus vieille et que j'ai grandi, j'ai commencé par Eden Eternal, c'était un MMO trop pipou. Un petit Dark Soul pour le gamin. Direct, comme ça il sait à quoi s'attendre. Bam. Non en vrai je sais pas, moi j'ai commencé avec des trucs ouais genre Tetris et tout. Enfin j'ai commencé avec la Mega Drive mais... Moi j'ai commencé avec Franklin sur PS2. Pas mal. Adibou il est trop grand. Non je sais pas ouais. Ouais j'aurais dit Minecraft. Hein. Mais c'est vrai que Crash c'est une bonne idée aussi, c'est pas mauvais. Après Minecraft ça peut être compliqué, peut-être qu'il est jeune quand même. Hein. 7-8 ans. Eh maintenant les jeunes ils se débrouillent mieux que nous.
I was repairing a lawnmower.
How unusual. Well, do come in. The job I've...
Totally embarrassed, I walked into an orderly room filled with papers and ledgers. So this was his office. You must be so busy getting ready for the festival. Are you looking forward to it?
Of course. It's traditional for the mayor to judge food from every cafe and restaurant in town.
Oh là là, ça veut dire que pour le festival, on va aller au café qu'on a aidé plusieurs fois, je pense. Moi, mon premier jeu vidéo, c'était Tortue Ninja sur NES, et comment dire, chaud quand même pour un premier jeu. Mais ouais, mais il y en a, moi j'avais le truc de dauphin où on comprenait rien, là. Il y avait des trucs... Il y avait Soleil aussi où je comprenais que dalle. Et c'est vrai que bon... Avec le dauphin, oui. Je n'y comprenais rien, j'avançais avec mon dauphin, je me prenais les murs, je savais pas ce qu'il fallait faire et tout. Tiens, un petit Pokémon. C'est vrai que Pokémon ça passe en vrai. Hein. Animal Crossing ça passe bien aussi.
I'll be declaring the best chef in Bellariva by this time tomorrow. Speaking of which...
He unclipped the watch from his wrist and very carefully handed it to me.
Je l'avais vu, je l'avais aussi, et quand j'ai vu la vidéo, j'ai été dessus. Ils sont partis un peu loin sur ce jeu. Oui, ouais, j'ai vu, enfin, Rip m'en avait parlé, et j'ai vu vite fait le topo. C'est n'importe quoi. Que je comprends pourquoi, quand j'étais gosse, j'ai rien compris au jeu.
I'll have a tight schedule to follow, but my watch stopped working a while ago. Could you see if you can make it tick again?
Allez, c'est parti. On va essayer de réparer la montre. Alors, on va ouvrir déjà peut-être. Et voilà. Piou. C'est comme ça qu'un tournevis fait quand il dévisse. Piou. Faut que je fasse ce jeu aussi. Chim. C'est pas possible en fait. Chim, genre, elle pourra jamais regarder un seul de mes lives. C'est terrible. Après le jeu, il a l'air très... Il a l'air très rapide. Genre là, je me dis, j'ai bientôt fini en vrai. Tu peux pas te spoil, mais... Alors, qu'est-ce que je dois faire? On va mettre une pièce ici. Ça c'est complètement craqué. On va faire ça aussi. Hop, on va changer...
Are you sure it will all fit back together?
Bah, je vais essayer mon potin. Hop là. Ah non, c'est pas comme ça. Hop.
I've not gone a day without this watch since my wife gave it to me.
Oh. Je vous épargne les éternuements. Fou. On remet les vis. Pourquoi d'un coup il n'y a plus de son dans le jeu? Pourquoi d'un coup il n'y a plus de musique? Mince. Il m'a enlevé toute la musique du jeu. C'est hyper calme du coup. Très, très spécial. Peut-être pas bien court. Hop là! Let's go! Piou! Regardez, on répare des montres. Vous savez réparer une montre, vous? Moi, oui, maintenant. Je vais faire tout pareil. J'ai pas de montre. Ça sert à rien. Mince. Je fais n'importe quoi. C'est pas bon? Mince. Mince, ça a pas l'air bon. Manque des trucs. On y retourne. Piou. Attends, j'ai l'impression que ça refonctionnait. On a oublié ce que j'ai dit, je sais pas réparer une montre. J'ai tout enlevé. La 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 la. Bah ouais, mais peut-être qu'il manque genre... Ok. Non, ça fonctionne? Non. Genre ça là? Mais il va où? Ah. Ah mais elle est énorme cette... ce truc. Non, je voulais pas la tasse. Je voulais ça, peut-être que c'est derrière. Ah bah oui, bah voilà. Ça marchera peut-être mieux comme ça. Ok. On recommence. Tac, tac. Non, pas la tasse. Toujours pas la tasse, hein, vraiment. Ah, le dessert. Donc. Et du coup, Nagrom, c'est pourquoi? C'est pour un cadeau d'anniversaire, Noël C'est difficile de choisir pour quelqu'un. C'est vrai que on a des goûts tous différents. Donc trouver des jeux à donner comme ça, c'est vrai que ça peut être compliqué. Let's go, on a fait la montre. Wouhou! Débat que j'ai eu un pote hier soir. Oh ok! C'était
As I
quoi le débat
handed the
qu'on a
watch
eu
back
nous?
to Joseph,
Je
my
sais plus.
fingers traced over the engraving on the back. I hoped fixing this was one small way I could help him move forward.
Il vient d'avoir un enfant, on a discuté un peu de ça. Ah,
I can't believe it's working.
je comprends.
Thank you. My wife was a brilliant woman. Feeling this ticking on my wrist, it makes me feel like she's still here. Watches measure minutes and hours like they're infinite. I didn't know we had so little time. Even with Isabel, I barely see her. And when I do, she acts like she hates me.
Just then, the phone rang. Even when he was at home, his work was never done.
Sorry, Maria. I have to take this. I'll see you at the festival tomorrow.
Enfin, tu connais ce genre de soirée, t'enchaînes clope et les verres, donc tu pars souvent dans des débats interminables. Oui, oui, les grandes discussions. Moi, en général, je fatigue et j'ose pas le dire et je fatigue de plus en plus.
As I left, I turned and saw him pacing the floor of his office, his watch glinting in the afternoon sun. I hoped its quiet ticking would at least bring him some peace during the busy days to come.
Ah, c'est une on va pouvoir projeter. Let's go!
When my last job of the day brought me to Carmen's apartment, the door was opened by someone I didn't expect to see, Helena.
Sorry for inflicting this mess on you. Carmen's never seen a knick-knack she doesn't want to buy, apparently.
Carmen's apartment was a little chaotic, but totally charming. It was easy to imagine her living in a place like this. It definitely wasn't Helena's style. She seemed more upmarket than flea market. I wondered why she was even here.
We're having a clear out, or at least I am. Carmen's not helping, as usual. There's a market at the festival tomorrow. I'm selling some of these things to make her some money. She says she has nothing when there's all this stuff right under her nose.
Helena stepped delicately past the items on the floor and reached down to pick up one from the pile.
Look at this slide projector. Our parents treasured it, but Carmen treats it like a piece of junk. Can you take a look?
Alors, let's go. Première chose, on enlève toujours les bis, hein. Puis on en oublie toujours une, donc ça s'ouvre pas. Après on fait, mais elle est où la dernière? Ça sent le vécu? Oui.
That light bulb is completely smashed. Okay, I'll need to redirect the light to the lens at the top for the projector to work.
Ok. Comment qu'on fait ça? Ça. Et lui. Non! Je pense pas que ça soit... il m'en reste un. Et on peut le mettre nulle part, le dernier. Ah, si, je vais faire un truc là-dedans, évidemment. Mais oui! Vous voyez les vis, je l'avais dit. Hop! Il y en a plus, il y en a encore.
Oh, typical. Carmen's even managed to get a slide stuck in here.
Oh, ça va, pourquoi t'es énervé comme ça? Pas l'enlever par là? Pas l'enlever par là non plus. Par où est-ce qu'on peut... Ah, faut enlever ça, non? Y a pas d'autre vis. Ok. Donc ça va là. Et... contre... Je sais pas comment enlever la diapo. Ça m'étonnerait que ça marche comme ça, mais on va voir. Hein. Voilà, c'est peut-être mieux comme ça. On va ça à brancher. Ah, donnez-moi le mode d'emploi.
Something is still missing.
Ouais, il manque quelque chose, je suis d'accord, mais... Ça va où? Brancher un truc, mais en fait, je suis pas sûre. Ça, à l'intérieur, ça doit être ok. En plus, ça, c'est pas... Alors, si, c'est bon, là, mais c'est pas bon. Ensuite, peut-être qu'on peut régler là, maintenant. Peut-être ça voit pas la lumière.
There's still a part I need to attach. Where does it go?
Mais on voit vraiment pas, hein, c'est pas... Alors, ça serait là, mais non, c'est pas bon. Wouh! On peut pas juste l'enlever? Ferait plus comme ça, genre? Ouais. Et ensuite...
Looks like something is still missing.
Ok.
I was so excited when I moved to the city. Carmen, she looks so sad.
Oh, c'est les diapos.
Here's the clicker you'll need to attach. God knows how Carmen broke that as well.
Voilà, pas fait exprès, bichonne. Là où ce bouton? Si?
Looks like something is still missing.
Ah ouais, mais si c'est le truc, j'arrive pas à l'enlever. C'est ça. Ah non, je le mets là, genre ici, et après je branche. Et ensuite, on met les diapos, on les range. Elle se fait un câlin. Elle fait à
Looks
manger.
like there's still a screw missing.
Oui, oui, je remets les billes, je remets les billes. On n'est pas pressé, hein. Hop là. Mince. Oups. C'est trop beau les trucs comme ça, j'aime trop. Youp. Diapo suivante, s'il vous plaît.
When we were younger, Carmen was always following me around.
Uh-huh.
I suppose she looked up to me.
Ben oui.
Cool older sister. She used to ask me when I was coming home,
Merde.
but I was always too busy.
Let's go.
Helena was transfixed, staring at the two young sisters the projector had brought glaringly into focus.
I never meant to let her down.
But you haven't, have you? You came all this way just to help with the cafe, plus the money.
That's the problem. There is no money. I lost my job a few months ago. My savings are almost gone. I have nothing. Carmen thinks I'll throw my checkbook at her bad decisions and make them okay. But I can't. Not this time. You know, the funny thing is, I came here wanting to tell her the truth. But she's so infuriating. How can I ask her for help when all she cares about is herself?
Helena fell silent, shrinking under the gaze of her younger self, projected onto the wall.
We drifted so far apart when I moved away. It felt like the only thing keeping us together was my bank balance. I know I have to tell her the truth. It isn't fair. But I already lost everything else. What if I lose her too?
Molly pipi. C'est quoi ça? Oh! Let's go! On va retourner au
The
café, je
day of the
pense.
festival
C'est ça.
finally came, and after all my hard work, I was ready to put down my tools and pick up a fork. The smell as I entered the main square was incredible. Each stall was selling food even more delicious than the last. The competition would start any minute. Most stall holders were waiting anxiously for the mayor to pay them a visit. All of them, that was, except Carmen, who was still frantically chopping vegetables and stirring pots.
Maria! Thank God you're here. Can I ask you the world's biggest favour? Helena was supposed to help me run the stall today, but she never turned up. Probably too ashamed to show her face. I can't believe she lied to me.
Carmen was stirring so furiously, she was in danger of tipping the pot over altogether.
The mayor will be here any minute for the judging, but I'm almost out of my special.
She wasn't really going to ask me, was she? Not on my day off.
I have a stove ready to build and everything. Can you set it up and make me a spare batch?
Oh, her recipe is a bit smudged. Never mind, I'm sure whatever I put in will be fine.
Ah, le troisième il s'est posé tout seul.
It all
Ok.
fits. Now to light the gas.
Faut allumer avec le bouton. Et ensuite. Ah, je l'ai loupé. Il va y aura une fuite de gaz, hein. J'y arrive pas. Mais... Ah, j'avais juste à... Putain. Ok. Ensuite, on met ça là. Ensuite, je sais pas.
I think that pot is really boiling now. Smells great if I say so myself. Here are the ingredients that Carmen's given me. What to add first?
Pint of stock. Je sais pas ce que c'est, moi. Secure. Attendez. Je veux pas dire de bêtises. Je veux pas faire une bêtise. Bah, le bouillon, c'était le bouillon. Ensuite... un bâton et demi de carotte. Deux brocolis. Carottes coupées, des trucs coupés. Et j'espère que c'est ça, hein.
That looks good. I'll scoop a spoonful when I'm ready to serve.
J'ai pas terminé. J'ai pas terminé. Ah non, j'ai pas terminé. Ah non.
My part done, Carmen took over and added the finishing touches. It was just in time, and a moment later, Joseph arrived with Izzy in tow. Carmen anxiously handed...
That was so tasty.
Ok,
Can
ça
I
va.
have some more, please?
Ça va, ça va.
Well, you've certainly earned yourself a loyal customer in my daughter. We have a few more meals to taste, but so far you are one of the best.
Wow.
Good luck.
Merci. Enfin, c'est pas moi, mais...
Joseph and Izzy looked so happy together. Maybe the festival was doing them some good after all. Carmen, on the other hand, seemed annoyed. But why, when it had all gone so well?
I wish Helena was here to see this. She's so convinced I'll never succeed at anything.
Mais non.
She wants what's best for you. She's just not very tactful about it.
Yes, I know. Even when I was a kid, she pushed me when no one else did. I just wish she hadn't lied to me. But then, I've asked so much of her over the years. I never stopped to think how much she actually had to give.
Let's go. Oh. Moi j'ai plein de vinyles mais j'ai pas le truc pour faire tourner les vinyles.
I only had one day left before I had to catch my train and leave Bellariva behind. I couldn't go without saying goodbye to Carmen. So, that evening, I made my way to the cafe. It was unrecognizable. She'd done it. Best food in
Let's
Bellariva.
go.
Half the town was outside waiting to see what the fuss was about.
Maria! My favorite sous chef, Come on through.
It was Carmen, acting every inch the successful cafe owner she deserved to be. Even Helena was there, serving the coffees. This was the last place I expected to see her after yesterday's drama.
Let's go.
Carmen led me through to a balcony upstairs, where she brought out an old record player.
I found out where Helena was on the day of the festival. She was selling her camera to clear the cafe's debts. But then she didn't have much left for herself. So, I've asked her to come and stay with me for a while. We have a lot of catching up to do. I wanted to give her this, to cheer her up. We listened to it all the time when we were kids. Do you think it has one last tune in it?
Okay, let's see what happens when we turn this on. The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring. The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
Tiens, on va vérifier tout ça.
Here's the problem. This wiring isn't connected properly.
Il est pas mal branché, il y a juste... Je sais pas où il va. Voilà.
That's the speed dial connected. Now we should be able to change it.
Ça va? Moi je l'enlève. Ça si c'est pas bon du coup. Problème mais ça fonctionne pas non plus. Ah c'est ça qui va. Ah bon, tac, tac, tac. Si, ça a l'air trop. Est-ce que tout va bien? Est-ce qu'on peut enlever des trucs encore? Ok. Ça a l'air. J'ai pas d'autres pièces de toute façon. Donc. C'est... Ah. Je sais pas. Ça marche. Ça c'est bon, ça c'est bon, ça c'est pas bon. Ah, putain.
I think that should do it. This record should play beautifully.
Ok. Voyons voir.
It's spinning the wrong way. How can I get it to play in the right direction? It must be to do with the motor.
Le
Let's see if
moteur.
one of these spares can turn
Ok. On enlève tout. Bada 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 bada. Modèle U5 7B6. Ah ouais, mais c'est pas les mêmes modèles.
If I turn the volume up, I should be able to hear it now.
Je peux le faire.
The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
Ah, les câbles, c'est bon.
The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
Mince. Ah non.
This motor doesn't seem to work. Maybe I'll have better luck with a different one.
Ok, un autre. Mais genre j'ai tout ça dans mon sac à dos quand même. Hein. J'ai tout le temps ce qu'il faut. Tac.
Well, it's playing in the right direction. I should check it's turning at the correct speed.
Comment je fais ça moi? Hop. C'est pas de musique. Oh! Let's go!
What will remain of the smiles, the ones that stole my heart that day?
The record player's crackling tune must have caught Helena's ear, as she appeared a few moments later.
Is that my old
Trop mignon l'histoire.
I can't believe you've kept it all these years, Carmen.
Leaning over the music, they looked just like the young sisters the slide projector had preserved all these years, inseparable once again. Carmen told me about your camera. That was a really generous thing to do.
I loved that camera, but I love my sister more. Now it's her time to be the person she wants to be. I'm going to stay here with her for a while. Make up for lost time.
Carmen and Helena's relationship wasn't suddenly going to be perfect, but they were both prepared to try. And to think, it had all started because of a call Carmen made about some seasoning tips. I guess in the end, maybe it wasn't so hard to just pick up the phone and dial. I hadn't spoken to my own parents in a year. I wanted to hear their voices more than anything. But the silence between us was so cavernous. I didn't know how I'd ever find the words to bridge it.
C'est beau. Très beau. C'est trop mimi. Ah, mes chats se battent encore. Toute la journée, hein. Allez, on continue.
My final morning in Bellariva, I received one last call out to Joseph and Izzy's house. I knew I had to pack, but I figured I could squeeze in one final job before I had to leave. When I arrived, I found Joseph tidying up his wilderness of a garden. The playhouse was already cleared. Inside, I could see Izzy happily testing out her screw-driving skills on the back of her cassette deck.
You've made quite the impression. Izzy, tells me she's going to be a repairwoman like Maria.
I'm sure she could be anything she wanted if she put her mind to it.
She could. She's a brilliant child. Spending the day with her at the festival, I haven't had so much fun in ages. I wanted to give her something before she starts to forget.
Inside, the house was transformed, flooded with light and the sounds of the garden. It felt alive again. This would be my last repair in Bellariva, but it felt like it was the house that had really been restored.
It's a music box. It used to play beautifully, but now when I wind it up, nothing happens. I'd love for Izzy to hear it sing again. Can you help?
On est sur une boîte à musique. On enlève tout.
Maria, could you add this family picture of us?
Oui, oui, je peux. Oh. Je peux pas l'enlever. Alors, il y avait quoi? Tac, 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 tac. Regarde, non, je vais pas remettre ça. On va reposer ça. On va regarder ça de plus près.
This mechanism is completely broken. I'll need to take it all apart before I can fix it.
Ok. Ok. T'as tout enlevé? Comment on enlève tout ça? Bonjour, ma Rolex est cassée. Ah, on a déjà reparé une montre tout à l'heure, donc je peux. Je m'y connais maintenant. Je m'y connais un peu, ouais. Comment ça va, GG? Bonjour, bonjour. Hop. Je crois que ça c'est là. Et t'es là. Ça va très bien, et toi, et vous le chat? Bah ouais, écoute, ça va super, hein. On a un peu de temps ce matin, du coup je sais que c'était un petit jeu, du coup que tu vas faire pour l'anniversaire. Du coup ça va pas ça, hein. C'est ça, non? Ouais. Je crois, hein. Ça touche ou ça touche pas là? Ah, ça a l'air mieux comme ça, non? Je sais pas, j'ai un doute. J'ai oublié. Ah, les petites mémoires comme moi, c'est terrible. Bah non, mais... Ça va dedans, normalement. Bon. Je peux pas tester. Ah si, c'est avec la clé qu'on teste. Oh! Trop mignon. Ok,
Perfect. The mechanism is good as new.
c'est comme neuf. Du coup, on va remettre ça. Ça, c'est le truc secret qui est caché dedans. Hop. Un truc secret. En... Ah, il n'y avait pas des vis à remettre? Si, bien évidemment. Mince, c'est parce que je vois pas les trous. Hop. Ici. Hop là. Ensuite. Faudrait d'abord mettre la photo en fait. Je comprends pas pourquoi... Peut-être qu'il faut déjà que je remette genre ça là. Bah non. Je comprends pas. C'est quoi ça? Je sais même pas où ça va. On va remettre un truc que je sais déjà. Ça, ici. Ah, faut de la colle. Bah oui, sinon comment veux-tu, Winter, que la photo elle tienne? Elle peut pas. Attendez, on met la... Hop. Euh. Ça tombera pas comme ça. Voilà. Ensuite. Il manque un truc là, non? Oh, il manque un truc de ouf. Comment... Pourquoi y a rien là? Ah! Ok. Compris, j'ai compris.
I think that's everything back together again. I should play it to make sure.
Hop! On a
My
réussi!
wife used to sing this song to Izzy each night before bed, but I always worked too late to join them. Will you dream a dream for me if I sit by your side and hold you so tight? Know that I will always love you, even though we both know that.
Ouais, merci GG!
Good night.
Trop mignon. Good night.
I've missed so much already. I want to be the father my wife wanted me to be.
Hop.
I've ended up so much like my own father, working all the time. Izzy needs me more than that, especially now it's just the two of us. My daughter comes first. Well, until she gets bored of her stuffy old dad anyway.
I'll never ever get bored of you, Dad.
Izzy came running into the room where Joseph scooped her up and onto his shoulders. She gazed at the music box, her eyes shining. I'd never seen her look so happy.
Thank you, Maria, for everything. The things you fixed for me. I'm so glad to have them back.
Joseph was a good father, and I could tell he was determined to be an even better one. When it came down to it, that was all any of us wanted. A second chance to make something right. My time in Bellariva was almost over, but before I left, I knew there was something of my own I needed to fix. My time in Bellariva was almost at an end. Another chapter finished in a story whose ending I hadn't felt ready to write. The people I'd met, the items I'd restored, they'd taught me so much about what was really important. Pulling out my suitcase from beneath the bed, I remembered the day I stole it from my parents' shop, the day I left. Afterwards, I was too ashamed to call them, to apologize. It was a guilt I'd been carrying around every day since. As I packed, I knew that it was up to me to find a way to lighten the load.
Alors, on va remettre tout ce qu'on avait au début. Oh, on a un dinosaure maintenant.
My train ticket.
Je n'arrive pas à
Can't
croire que là,
believe it's
j'ai
time to
quitté.
leave Bellariva behind.
C'est sûr, c'est sûr.
Elena gave me these designer shirts. Not sure I'll pull them off as well as she does. My parents would love Bellariva. Maybe I can convince them to make the trip. Joseph Joseph's idea of light reading for the train.
Trop mignon, on a des souvenirs de tout le monde. Ça c'est la petite fille,
Izzy
j'imagine.
gave me this in exchange for my repair manual. She'll be a pro in no time. The soundtrack to my travels. I'll be listening to this on the journey.
Elle nous a donné la recette de sa soupe. Ah non, elle nous a donné de la soupe et sa recette. Ah oui, mais du coup ça va pas. Je peux pas enlever. D'abord ça. Hop.
The recipe for Carmen's special. I'm under strict instructions to guard it with my life.
C'est dommage, des fois il y a des dialogues qu'on voit pas parce qu'ils font qu'on a terminé le...
My suitcase was full, but it was my heart that felt heavy as I made my way to the station. I was sorry to be leaving Bellariva behind. In my own small way, I'd made a difference.
Merci beaucoup Angelus. Bienvenue à tous. Merci pour le raid, c'est très gentil. Vous étiez sur quoi? Let's go. Bienvenue à tous. Merci de l'avoir suivi Angelus sur le raid. Et merci beaucoup pour le follow Maureen. Et bien le bonjour ici. Bonjour Angelus. Quoi de neuf? Enfin, ça s'est bien passé ton live? Vous arrivez sur la fin d'un petit jeu qui était très sympa où on réparait des petits objets. Il y a une histoire en fond, les couleurs sont très jolies. Un bon petit jeu, vous arrivez sur la fin de ce jeu. Après je pense que je vais retourner sur un Où est Charlie interactif, mais on est sur Sea of Tears. Sea of Tars. Tars ou Steve. Quel coup de cœur ce jeu. Blablabla, j'arrive plus à parler. Mais oui, j'ai vu que t'avais lancé ce matin aussi. Vous voyez, les gens du matin, on est là. J'espère que ça s'est bien passé. Vous êtes bien amusés.
Elena and Carmen's reunion was possible because they'd learned to overcome their differences.
Ok.
Joseph had realized he shouldn't let his grief or his work get in the way of his relationship with Izzy.
Ils sont bons les gens matinaux, moi je dis. Haha, tout le monde ici est beau. Tout le monde. Tout le monde.
They'd each learned to see things from someone else's perspective. Maybe it was time I saw things through my parents' eyes.
Il est chill ce jeu, très. On a réparé quelques petits objets, il est... Enfin voilà, c'est très calme, c'est pas très compliqué, ça va... Non franchement il est bien.
I knew it would be easier to jump on the next train.
Et l'histoire est mignonne.
Between us, but I finally felt ready to talk to them. I just didn't know if they would feel the same.
Bon en plus là, tu vois, je vais le finir, j'en suis à 1h43 de live en prenant le temps, en parlant.
Did I even
Voilà.
remember their number? I wasn't sure until I reached for the phone and it all came flooding back.
Là c'est la dernière normalement. On a.
Mom? Dad?
Maria? Is that you?
Ah mais il y avait un truc bonus pourtant, non? Tu as regardé la durée de vie? Non. Je savais que c'était court mais j'ai pas regardé... Je crois qu'il me manque un truc là. Attendez. Évidemment, j'ai 4 succès que j'ai pas fait. Bah, si je les ai fait. Ah non, il y a peut-être un truc que j'ai pas fait effectivement. Il y avait des succès cachés que j'ai pas vus, donc je ne sais pas. Hop, j'en ai découvert un. Ça c'est quoi? Ah, c'est le bonus! Let's go! Chère Maria, c'est moi Carmen. Je suis désolée de ne pas t'avoir écrit plus tôt.
Maria.
Il y a tellement de choses à faire au café
Sorry I
depuis que
haven't
tu es
returned.
partie.
The cafe's been absolutely... Luckily, I have Helena here to help. You wouldn't recognize her. She's like a new woman. She's always running around, taking orders and making drinks. I even heard her compliment a customer on their outfit. Personally, I draw the line at fluorescent green bowling shirts, but each to their own. It certainly made the customer smile. She misses the city, though. Bellariva's many things, but it's definitely not as chic as she'd like. She said there was a coffee shop near her old apartment where they made coffee with a shape drawn on top. It got me thinking, I'm an award-winning chef. I can figure out how to put a leaf on a cappuccino. A bit of cosmopolitan coffee might be just what Helena needs. Of course, ordering a new coffee machine was the easy part. I wish you could have seen the mess I got into trying to put the thing together.
On doit assembler une machine à café, vous êtes prêts? Oh là là, terrible.
I saw Maria use her screwdriver a million times. Taking this apart will be easy.
Là, il y a des vis aussi. Youp. Youp. Ensuite.
These pipes look pretty simple. I should start with them.
Ok. Les tuyaux. Ah, on peut pas. Il y a encore des vis. Oh, il y en a plus, il y en a encore. Hop là. Ok, là normalement je peux les enlever, non? Non, ça s'enlève pas. Ah non, faut juste que je rajoute après. Et ça, faudra que je rajoute des...
Maybe I should focus on the pipes first. They look easy.
Oui. Easy, easy. Easy for me, hein. Viens voir.
I'll need to connect all the pipes correctly to stop the steam pouring out.
Oui, oui, bah j'essaye, hein. Ok. Ok.
How can there be so much steam?
Je comprends pourquoi il y a
I'm
autant de
getting
vapeur, je suis trempée. Je fais n'importe quoi. Ah oui, c'est pas bon du tout.
That can't be right. That steam doesn't look good.
Pas bon non plus.
There must be something wrong with the pipes.
Mince. Peut-être que les jaunes font pas forcément avec les jaunes. Si. Ok. Non, lui, il a l'air d'avoir rien qui peut atterrir, donc je pense bien que c'est ça. Hein. Faudrait que j'arrive à la remettre correctement, qu'on y voit quelque chose. Ensuite, lui... Non. Ah mais non, mais il y a d'autres tuyaux. Genre ça, non? Pas à mettre dedans aussi? Oh là là, Malilou. Ah oui, d'accord. Ok, ah, c'est un peu mieux. Ensuite, un tuyau là. Un tuyau ici. Non, c'est pas bon. Un tuyau ici. Et un tuyau. C'est pas bon. On va mettre les jaunes d'abord, hein. Ensuite...
pipes are all connected, but there's
Toutes
still
choses, mais il
steam
y a encore de la vapeur
everywhere.
partout. Quelque chose ne
How
va
in the
pas.
wrong place?
Effectivement, ce tuyau là, il me dérange. Il est pas bon. Alors peut-être que c'est lui. C'est la même chose. Hmm. Oui, c'est ça. Ça va toujours pas? Ah,
Finally,
let's
no
go.
more steam.
Alors. Mince. Ah. Peut-être en... Non, ça c'est pas bon. C'est pas bon. Pas bon. Pas bon. Bon. Pas bon. Pas bon. Tout est pas bon. Ah mais il faut un troisième, genre... C'est pas bon. Tout est pas bon. Non. Alors, mettre ton flan coco pour ce soir est prêt en avant. Let's go! Miam miam miam. Est-ce que vous aimez le flan coco? Moi, j'adore le flan coco. Alors, on verra ça après parce que genre, ça va vraiment pas. Ah, il y en a combien? Le 3 avec le café, le 2 avec les lumières, le 1 avec l'électricité. Le 1, électricité. Voilà, comme ça. Électricité, électricité. Ok. Voilà là, regardez tout ça. C'est dingue. Ça va où là? Ça va en bas, je pense. Genre, non. Ici? Non, c'est pas ça. Miam la gaufre. Non. Non, ça c'est pas ça. Ça va pas là.
Are
Ça.
all of these parts supposed to go in there?
Oui, toutes les pièces que je vais utiliser. Oui, oui. On revisse. Faut pas que ça tombe. Ah! Oh no. Pas de la coco. Quoi, t'aimes pas? Oh! GG. Bah, pourquoi j'arrive pas à remettre ça? Juste comme ça. Non. Waouh. C'est trop bon le flan à noix de coco.
Are all of these parts supposed to go in there?
Bah ouais, mais... Ah, mais... Pourquoi j'arrive pas à remettre? C'est bien là qu'il manque quelque chose. Ah. Ah, faut peut-être remettre avant. Bah ouais, logique. On n'a rien vu, hein. Il manque des... J'ai encore 2 vis. Peut-être en remettant ça. Ah oui. 4 qu'il y a des relents. Ah ouais.
Better test the buttons, just to make sure.
On teste les boutons.
All done. Piece of cake.
Facile,
Time to make my first
aise.
coffee, I think.
Oh. Oh. Waouh, rip. Fais attention.
Smells delicious. Now to
Il
make
y a le chat qui est en train de défoncer tout ce qu'il y a sur la table du salon. T'as entendu? Ok. Il est sur la table du salon. On a fait un café. On va faire la petite fleur avec le lait. Comment on fait ça? Je vous fais un cœur. Non, non, je crois que c'est ça. Et après tu remontes.
a perfect coffee.
Waouh.
All it needs is a saucer and
C'est
a couple of Helena's favorite
perfect
biscuits.
coffee. Oh, il y a des spéculoos. Machine à expresso, let's go! Il me manque des succès cachés, je pense, hein, mais je sais pas d'où ils sortent, donc... C'est le principe des succès
I was
cachés.
feeling more has-been than coffee queen by the time I'd made a drink fit for human consumption. It looked a bit, postmodern, but knowing Helena's refined tastes, I hope she'll think it was intentional.
J'ai commencé à en avoir ras la cafetière. Très bon, très bon.
Always the connoisseur, she didn't even bother to look at it at first. She was so busy wafting it under her nose. Steamed up her glasses, of course. How was she going to see my work of art through an eye full of fog? When she finally spotted it, though, she was totally impressed. I'll admit, she spent several minutes trying to figure out exactly what it was I'd drawn. She decided it was probably a horse. Well, what she doesn't know won't hurt her. She was impressed enough to ask for another one. I guess I'll need to get some practice in. The whole thing was such hard work, Maria. I never realized how difficult it was, all that mechanical stuff. It made me realize how much I have to thank you for, so I wanted to say that now. Better latte than never. Hoping you're well. Your friend, Carl.
Oh. Il arrive qu'il est en train de tout casser derrière moi. Trop pipou. Let's go. Ah mais non, j'ai terminé tous les succès, je dis n'importe quoi. Et voilà, on a fini le jeu. Bravo à nous. Ouais. Ouh. Il était très bien. On a commencé par notre arrivée. Ensuite, le magnétophone, la statue. Maintenant le 100%. Bah du coup c'est le 100% en fait. Je suis bête, j'avais mal vu. Le téléphone, l'appareil photo, l'enseigne, la Game Boy, la montre, le projecteur, la bonbonne. Voilà. On a réussi. Hello Alias. Du coup voilà, on a terminé le jeu, on a le 100% du jeu. Let's go. C'est trop bien. C'est trop bien, il était très très mignon. Je suis très contente. Putain, j'arrive sur la fin. Il y aura une VOD si tu veux. Alors, est-ce qu'on n'irait pas... Je savais que j'aurais dû lancer plus tôt, comme d'hab, Alias.